Well, hello, everybody. How are you guys in this beautiful yet rainy Seattle? I am here, but I love the state that I live in. If we are meeting for the first time, my name is Holly Lee. I'm the founder at hollylee.co, where I am known for my, I'm laughing, Amazon interview coaching plus FAANG, but a lot of my members come to me with either A, fail Amazon interviewed, and also other FAANG employer as well, but they always end up re-interviewing with the same employer. Yes, yes, and land at least one, if not multiple offer. Should you be interested, feel free to check out my VIP endorsement playlist. There are 4 videos for you, and I'll leave it over here somewhere when this live stream is done. Okay. And if you have question for me, please put a giant Q in there so I don't miss it with a lot of messages. The first 30 minutes of the live stream is free, guys. Free, 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 free. What's going to happen is that I will answer every single thing in the next half an hour, and I will turn member mode on. That's really helping me improve the efficiency and keeping all the spammer away. Today, I have a topic that I've been thinking about for the last week on what can I do to help all of you job seekers out there to learn a little bit more about the job market. Okay. Are you excited to talk about the job market? What's going on here? Who's hiring? Who's not? Is it hard? Is it the same interview process? What is going on? Amazon, Google, Facebook, Netflix, Tesla, FAANG companies. Okay. If you want to hear about FAANG, please put FAANG on the chat below. I would love to hear. Give me number one. Who is the employer of your brand? I'm going to hold back for a second before I start talking about the employers. I want to know who you want to work for. I'm going to put money down on this. Most of you are going to select Amazon unless you are proving me wrong. Going once, going twice. Don't be shy. Yes. RK does. I'm sorry, not RK. YK doesn't even want to type Amazon. He or she says yes. All right. Then let's get started, okay? So I don't know if you guys follow the news. How many of you guys on LinkedIn? On LinkedIn, I know a lot of you are not connected with me yet. I'm Holly Lee on LinkedIn. So that is my direct link. You just have to type that in the browser. I do share news and best practices for all of the tech market, who's hiring, what's going on, interview tips, best practices, and whatnot. Make sure that we are connected. There's been a lot of news about, and I read news. That's the first thing I do every morning while in bed. Okay. So let's talk about all of those companies, not every single one. That would take us the next 10 hours, but the most important brief little bits of what the market is telling us as we're going into 2022. You ready? All right. Amazon, me, Amazon, Amazon, Amazon. All righty then. I hear you. Well, let's talk about Facebook for 1 second because it's F as in Fang, right? Actually, it should be Matang, because Tesla is in there as well. Let's talk about Facebook very briefly. Facebook is it's a Facebook metaverse. I believe is a really exciting and cool technologies. I'm all for the metaverse, but the one thing that Facebook is struggling with right now, with their stock tanking a little bit, or actually it's been tanking since the rebranding of their company name, is that they're trying to figure out how to incorporate everything into metaverse. Now, I believe in the technology. I believe that Facebook will be a phenomenal moving from a social platform into more of the tech focused organization down the road. That is why they're going through a lot of changes for those of you who are interested in Meta. Okay. The second company is Google. Google is a very steady company, is one of the most highest paying employer in the world. I know because I work for all of them, right? Google, if I don't know if you've seen the news, and I'm not saying this to talk negative about any employer, I'm simply providing news to you because 2021, it is going to be ending very soon, guys. Okay. So I want you to know what the market trend is like. Google is starting to go through layoff. I know that they've laid off um, quite I wanted to say the number is about 1,000 now of non-technical role. Now, as far as you're asking, well, Holly, what about engineer, TPM, PM, and all of that? I can't tell you all this information. Even if I do know them, I have to wait until the new comes out, or if there's Googlers who post it on LinkedIn for me to share the information, because I do keep everything that I know in closed door, right? I do have a lot of friends in those employers, and I wanted to make sure that I protect their privacy as well. Google is a very steady company for decades over decades. Okay. So, should you be interested in working to an employer like that, know that they're going through a lot of changes right now. And this is Q4 for them. Moving on to Netflix. I'm a huge fan of Netflix, but guess what, guys? Netflix primary competitor, who is that? Who is that? That is correct. Did somebody say Prime Video? It is Prime Video. So I think although Netflix is a really strong, solid um, video brand, around the corner there's Amazon. Okay. And then let's talk about Tesla. I'm talking about all the FAANG company here. Tesla is doing really well. I don't know. I haven't followed the news lately of them um, opening a plant in Austin, Texas, or Texas in general. The cool thing is that it's creating a lot more employment opportunity for those who never want to move out of Texas. Okay. Texans don't like Texas, North Carolina folks, South Carolina folks. They just don't want to leave that area because they've grown up there and their family, and that is really their comfort zone and environment. Plus, there's no state tax, yet the standard of living is much cheaper than like Seattle. Okay. So I see great things happening with Tesla as far as the automotive industry. If that is your liking, I would say Tesla, hands down, is the best company to work for right now. However, let's talk about Amazon for a second here. Okay. Amazon is a premier employer brand. It is the brand, the premium brand of all. Let me explain why. I remember sitting through Jeff Bezos' All Hand from 11, 12 years ago. I remember being a very new employee at the time, and that was my first all hand. He talked about owning all of the products and services around the world. He talked about a global premium brand. Should there be, he didn't say pandemic, right? I'm just throwing out there. If the economy were to crash, if things didn't work out, he wanted Amazon to be the only company that is standing, and he doesn't believe in letting go of his employees versus he wanted to create job opportunities within the organizations for the Amazonian at the time. I was a new kid, but I was so inspired with everything coming out of that man. That's, I guess, one of the reasons why I work so hard, because I believe in every single thing as far as delivering goods, products, and services to consumers like you and I. Okay. At the end of the day, Amazon is not going to stop hiring. They will always have all these different positions. Why do I want to save Amazon best for last for you guys? Because there's a lot of messages that I've been getting. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to my YouTube. If you watch my YouTube video replay or one of my older video, for example, the culture video and why Amazon, I get a lot of negative connotation on that. For example, somebody wrote me a message 2 days ago, and I don't know if it's a he or she. Basically, this person says, Holly, I've been at Amazon as actually didn't even call me Holly. I worked at Amazon for at least 10 years. I was a people manager. The place is really toxic. I will never advise anyone to work for this company. I was very polite. I smiled. It brought a smile on my face, and I said, I responded. Okay. I love negative messages, by the way. I respond to them all. I said, what kept you around for 10 years if it's really that bad for you? Right? No employer is going to lock your hand, chain you to the chair, and tell you that you can't leave them. If an employer is not for your cup of tea, first you try to work it out. First, you guys all know that, right? I'm not talking about just one single employer. If you are in a workplace environment, if something happened, there's no such thing as a perfect employer, right? Let's get that out there. Did you take the initiative to look for ways for improvement in this individual? I'm assuming they did. That is why this person was with Amazon for 10 years. But going into my channel and talking negative and trying to influence my audience, look at the live chat, people. I encourage everyone to look at the live chat. Everyone came to me for Amazon. And the reason that I've created this YouTube channel, live streaming for you guys, is to basically help you get a job with your employer of choice. In this case, is Amazon. Okay. And I think I've been very transparent in all of my video and live stream that Amazon or Google or Facebook or Tesla or Apple, it's not a cup of tea for everyone. Every single one of these employer guys have their own culture footprint. Okay. I encourage you all to watch my Why Amazon and the culture video. Those two play back hand in hand with each other because I share my personal experience. And that's also, I've been there in total of 6, 7 years. Okay. I hate what I was doing and I was going to quit my job. Never, not once. I think the reason why I stuck around as long as I did, even though there's pros and cons, right? I really love my customers, my internal customer, my stakeholder. When you're working in an environment where, these people are so smart, they roll up their sleeve, they don't complain. People at Amazon, they don't complain, at least the time that I was there. They don't complain, they work hard, we have fun with each other. The team dynamic, at least the team that I've built and my stakeholders, they're phenomenal, and I feel like I've learned so much from them just being in the same room with, the guy who built Alexa, for example, all of the Alexa devices, my most recent project. The guy that created Amazon Business B2B, which is way over 2 billion profit for Amazon right now. Like being able to build team as a startup of like employee number 25 for these small, tiny little business for Amazon at the time, and being able to travel around the world and do recruiting event and train technical and interviewed with all of these high level bar raiser. That's what I'm jazzed at. Okay. I'm not jazzed in how much money I make. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Yes. Some of you are coming to me, complaining to me about your Amazon offer being too low. I'm sorry, guys. I never said Amazon paid well. Okay. Depending on where you are at, depending on how hard you've done your homework, go check out my salary negotiation. There's 4 short video to walk you through step by step to tell you what the market rate is in your geography. So you have to come ready. So the next time when you all are complaining about the offer is too low, or I hate this employer, I've been there for 10 years, look, just hear yourself. Ask yourself this. At the end of the day, what have you done to be ready for that job, that now that you have the offer, why are you complaining? You already know what the total comp is, right? You already know what your worth is. So if you're looking to get 50% more, yes, a lot of you guys who just throw numbers out there, are you really worth that much? Okay. And just because you have 20, 30 years of experience with a startup does not mean that you're a director at Amazon. Okay. Let me explain. Even a level 7, a senior manager at Amazon, is relevant to a CEO of some mid-sized company. Amazon's bar is very high as far as execution on the scope and the scale. And I talk a lot about that in all of my video, primarily in my Amazon interviewed questions and example video as well. Okay. So why am I sharing more information about this? Is because every single person who landed in my VIP coaching, which is right this, all are interviewing at Amazon, have a failed Amazon interviewed, but they don't listen to what I tell them. Okay. You all heard what I just said. The company's not going anywhere. So why are you guys being so, but Holly, I applied for 5. Why are you doing it? You're not even interview ready. I don't understand. Listen, the year is ending. Do you know what that means, professional? That means there's low shit of position coming up in January, people. Okay? Amazon is busy around the holiday 24 by 7. How do I know this? Because I work in 3 org and I've seen it in 3 different org devices, 2 different teams in devices. I partner very closely with AWS. Guess what? Everything's around the cloud and their engine, right? It's not going to stop hiring. Let's talk about retail, consumer, and operation, ops, fulfillment. That's even worse. This is where we shop the most, right? Black Friday is just over. And guess what? The holidays are coming up. You know something else will be launching. There's going to be some kind of sales or discount that's coming out. And when that's over, guess what? There's New Year's Eve sale. You hear me? Do you hear where I'm going? So I'm asking you guys this. When you're asking me questions, please make your questions as tough as possible for me. Please be very, very specific what position you're interviewing for. Okay. If you know the level, great. If you don't, that's irrelevant to me. But make your questions harder so I can give you intelligent answer. And furthermore, this right here, you want to download. This is the most important template. I have quite a number of templates in my questions and example playlist. You can't miss it. Question and example playlist. In fact, I even have the most recent leadership principle number 15 and 16 example template like this, and that example is from Facebook. Okay? All of you guys have example. You don't think you do, but you do. How do I know these professionals? Because every single person who came into my VIP coaching, go check out the endorsement video right into on my YouTube playlist. Hear what they're telling you, okay? Everyone struggled the same thing, but where they have failed is that they don't take the time to realize what they're good at. I'm not training you to remember everything you've done. I'm training you to feel professional, feel the passion of everything that you've done. Because if you don't show that in front of the interviewer, ain't nobody is going to hire you. Okay? That's the fact. All right. So I'm ready to answer all of your questions. Please do not tell me you have an interview, Amazon interview coming up. You're not ready, but you can't cancel the interview, or you don't know how to tell the interviewer or the recruiter to postpone it. Every single person in my VIP coaching have postponed their interview a month out. I repeat, every single member, because I don't take member when they interview the next week, because I wanted to save you time and your money. I don't have a magic wand, and I don't want to feel the pressure in rushing you through. Are you going to have 40 stories for me in 1 week? Sure, possibly. Are you going to be able to deliver your story in under 1 minute? Not really. Okay? So, Craig, hello, Craig. Thank you so much for the super chat, Craig. How do I get the pleasure of having you here? Craig says, hey, Holly, thank you for your channel membership. I watch and prepare. Oh, you got the offer. Yes! Yes. Okay, guys, let me go ahead and change member mode on now. Okay, member mode is on. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Craig. I remember you. Congrats on your day one. I'm so passionate that sometimes I think the worst of me comes out, because literally every single one of you are so anxious and so frantic about your interview, and you just do it because the number one answer is, Holly, the opportunity arrived at my door and it's Amazon. I can't say no. Yes, you can. Okay. Imagine yourself as an employee at Amazon. Having backbone is actually a leadership principle, because they want you to have backbone. Okay? If you all agree with what I just said, please say yes, backbone. Put the word backbone in the live chat right now for me. All right, let's go up. Let's answer some Q&A, shall we? Ruby, hello, Ruby. How are you? I love seeing your face. I love seeing your face. Fawaz, hello, Fawaz. Let me know if your LinkedIn profile is ready. If you want me to review your LinkedIn profile, I'm more than happy to today. Okay? I don't know if you all miss what I said here. I'm not sure why, but I'm so nervous coming on live and act as if this is my first time. I've been live streaming for 2 years now. Basically, when COVID hit, I stopped doing pre-recorded video. Not just because COVID hit, but that was also around the time that my family went through a flood in our condo, and we were moving to so many places. And I've also lost all of my equipment. So thank you. Thank you for all of you guys, all of the subscriber, all of the pay YouTube community member. Because of you, I was able to rebuild my studio in 6 months. It's all you guys. So thank you very, very much. Cheryl. Hello, Cheryl. Where are you watching from, Cheryl? Michelle, excited for new tip this week. Michelle, I will answer all of your questions. If you just came in and you missed the first 5-10 minutes when I talk about FAANG employers, there's a reason why everyone is coming to me for Amazon. Because if you look at the market trend, it's not because we're in Q4, right? You guys know that. It's not because we're still in a pandemic. Okay, pandemic or not, Amazon never stopped hiring, ever stop hiring. Of the time that I've spent at Amazon, they have never gone through any layoff, ever. Okay. If the position is filled, if they're hiring too fast, they will dedicate resources to help other organization. For example, I talked about Amazon Business earlier. When my team was able to help build the business for Amazon, turning AmazonSupply.com to Amazon B2B, literally my entire recruiting team shift gear and move to AWS to help them. You see where I'm going? This is why I love working for, at the time, not anymore. I don't want to work for anyone today, but at the time, I love working for Amazon because I felt like there's always opportunity. It's unlimited. You're not happy at your job? Great. Look around. There are thousands of projects laying around. Get to know the hiring leader and see if that is the right team and the right culture for you. Even though Amazon has its own culture, which is ownership, bias for action, and being extremely customer obsessed, but we all know the truth of the matter is everything starts from top down, which is leadership, right? How the leader run the organization and team are able to keep the employee. So if you guys are currently Amazonians right now, I know a few of you guys are watching because you tell me, and you're still in your current environment looking to get into the Amazon, the biggest piece of advice I can give you right now, professional, and because we're wrapping up the year, is look to see the next team or the next org you want to work on, and during your interview, ask them these questions. Hiring managers, right? Or even bar racers at Amazon. What is the longevity of the people on your team? That's it. Number one, it will catch them off guard. Number two, it shows them that you care to stick around long term. Number three, it shows that you're being smart. Okay. That's one of the questions that I would ask back in the days when I was transferring team, even within Amazon or even at Facebook. I want to know how long people are hanging around. For instance, if people are quitting every 6 months to a year or transferring out, that's a huge red flag with me. Why are people leaving? Again, I'm looking at leadership. Okay. Joey Star, how are you, Joey? Penny, hello, Penny. Craig. 100% backbone. Thank you, Craig. Yes, it's all about the backbone, guy. Getting a job is one thing. First of all, having your story is one thing. Being able to articulate your story is two thing. And also being successful in your new role is the third thing. Okay? Which is why my VIP coaching is highly recommended if you have had multiple fail interviewed and if you've never worked for any of these big companies before. It takes a couple months to get you interview ready. Okay. My audience are the audience who doesn't come from a lot of these brand name companies and are very lost, very confused, and need a little bit guidance. Those are my audience. YK. YK says Amazon. Joey says FAANG. Yeslin, I know exactly where your heart is. Oh, I was thinking Google. It's Amazon now. You see that? Yeslin has a change of heart. Petra, Amazon. Oh my God, I'm dropping tears. Literally, everyone says Amazon. Joey says Google because the culture fits me better. Awesome. All these companies, the cultures are completely different, by the way. Okay. Go check out my culture video. I talk about the Amazon specifically culture. Google was really cool. It's very team oriented. It's very dynamic oriented. It's they love to brainstorm, get together, be meetings and all that. It's a very conversational culture. Okay. For me, if I were to think about the culture that best fitted me today, it would be Holly Lee and Associates. You guys are my culture. You like that? That is the fact. It has changed. Me. Ruby says me. Benny, hello, Benny. How are you? You've asked some great questions last time. Looking forward to more of your question, Benny. Tahir, I felt three different roles with Amazon. Tahir, if you have had failed interview three different times, I'm going to make you feel better very quickly. Most people have failed their interview at least once, if not multiple times at Amazon. Okay. I don't even know how I got hired at Amazon because the questions are just, it makes my brain hurt. The Amazon interview don't just ask you what color is the sky. It's really diving deep into everything that you have done, how you have built it, and tearing it, breaking it apart to explain to them step by step how you're able to do it. That is why when I trained my members into acing their interview, not just Amazon, but all the other FAANG employers, I use the Amazon interview model, not process, not copying Amazon's process, but model, meaning peeling layers of onions, really thinking big, and really being very thoughtful with your answer. very specific answers so that you would make sense to the interviewer. It's okay if you failed 3 times, but don't re interview again until you fix the initial problem of why you failed the first one, two, three. Okay? Go check out my fail interview playlist. It tells you exactly what to do to come back. You guys, you don't have to work with me in my VIP coaching for you to land a job at Amazon because a couple thousand people have done it for free just by showing up live. And our friend earlier on just mentioned that they landed a job offer just by being my pay member. Okay. Broke. Oh, thank you so much. Wow, that's a cool sticker. I didn't even know that you two had stickers now. Thank you so much for the super chat, Broke. Brooke says, you are amazing. Oh, you are amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go with Mandar. If I don't pronounce your name correctly, I'm sorry. I am trying. Mandar. Mandar says, "Hey Holly, thank you so much for everything you do. Your content is amazing. I'm trying to get an interview at Amazon. I got contacted by the recruiter, but she said she needs a commitment to relocate to Seattle. She can put me in the interview schedule. Since it's a bit no to ask for level, is there a substantial cost of living different between where I am and Seattle? Well, first of all, where are you, Mandar? You have to tell me where you are. Remember, guys, when you're asking me questions, please be as specific as possible. Okay, where are you from so I can tell you the market, the market difference. I'm in Seattle. I moved here from Silicon Valley. I left. I actually transferred my job from Kindle at the time to consumer because I wanted to be in headquarter. It is true that a lot of opportunity and growth happens in Seattle because if you live in Seattle as a campus. In my condo alone, if I'm in the elevator, just assume that they're Amazonian because literally, like most of I don't want to say everyone works for Amazon. That's that's too deep of a fact. But a lot of people, they work for Amazon because of the backpack they have. It's you can tell. Amazon has their own backpack and also their blue badge or whatever color the badge is, I recognize the badge, right? So the standard of living in Seattle, like any other states, has increased is a better term to use. Okay. Also, because when I first moved here 7 years ago for Amazon, um, at that time there were no Facebook. Google only had an office, actually a small office in like the other side of town in Seattle, but they were based in Kirkland, the east side of Seattle. Now everyone, really ballsy, they're all around the Amazon campus. So that makes the standard of living up a little bit more. Even so, I think that Seattle is probably the third most expensive place to live in the world, from one of the cheapest to one of the most expensive. I'm not saying to not accept your job at Seattle. I'm saying you need to negotiate your offer. You see where I'm going? Okay. I love Seattle. Seattle is a fantastic space because the people here, for some reason, are very focused at their job. And when I do connect with them, we end up having meaningful conversations. So again, the culture is very different. I'm really an introvert, right? I'm an introvert. I like to coach. I like to leave eat sleep coach when I'm not coaching. The thing about Seattle is that it's also made for outdoorsy people. If you're not outdoorsy people, it could be tough for you. Okay. I love to urban hike. I literally walk out and everything I need is in front of me. And I have a 4-year-old son now, and we do everything on foot. Even his daycare is less than a mile away. Okay. So I love Seattle. So standard of living is amazing. And you have the Puget Sound, the mountain and the water, they meet, and you have the fall season. Four season, not fall season. Although our winter can go, I'm gonna skip that for you in case you change your mind of moving to Seattle. I love the rain. Okay, it's not for everyone. Either the state, the culture, the company, the pay. You need to find what is important. Now, if you look at the standard of living and the pay scale at Amazon, Amazon is above average in Seattle. Indeed. Okay, it is. So let's talk about money for a quick second here because a lot of people ask me about, well, Holly, I'm disappointed in my offer. Listen, let's just say that you join the highest paying company in, let's only focusing on Seattle market, right? Apple. Microsoft, Google, Facebook, all the tech company, and Amazon, your Amazon offer is probably the lowest. But if you're able to stay with all those companies in 4 years, your salary in the 4 years or 5 years or 10 years are going to be much higher than all of those players. Here's why. Because I don't know if you guys have heard and seen, the Amazon stock is crazy. Even if you leave the company, for example, and you don't make that much based on base salary because Amazon has no bonuses, all the other employer does. That's why your offer will come in probably one of the lowest. But should you ever cash your equity, that's when the money comes in. Okay. So it has a lot to do with negotiating your offer. If you're going to join a company like Amazon, know that it's going to be a lot of hard work. It is a hard work environment. Hard work, yet very rewarding. Okay. If that is your cup of tea. If you're thinking about staying with an employer for 1 year or 2 years, forget about Amazon. It's not worth it because, again, you have your base salary and your sign on bonuses. But once your sign on is off the table after 2 years, you just have your base salary. So if you're going to leave the employer, you're going to vest 20% in 2 years, 5% first year, 15% second year, and 2020 third and fourth year until it's fully vested. Okay? You hear what I'm saying? So if you're going to join any of this big FAANG company and you don't, if you're someone who are very anxious, who doesn't sit still, who likes to think on your feet, that's the best thing I can describe the Amazon culture, then Amazon is perfect for you. If you're someone who are not afraid to voice your own opinion and who's very mentally innovative and likes different kind of challenges, Amazon is an environment that you never sit still. It doesn't matter how long you've been with a company. You're never going to reach that I'm comfortable zone ever. That's Amazon. That's why I had a really hard time working for any employer coming out of Amazon because it's just different. It's very, very different. I like to move very fast, physically and mentally. I like to see my work go live, like the Alexa, all of the Alexa devices, right? That was my baby at the time. All of the Kindle tablet, the first Paperwhite that came out that got sold out, that was my baby. The B2B.com, that's really my baby. I literally built an entire org from nothing to that. I took a startup and we changed name multiple times and then resulting in B2B in just 8 months. Guys, that's how fast Amazon moved, okay? Within your first year, you're going to help Amazon make billions of dollars. Within the first year, in all of the other FAANG companies, I can't really say much because it's very different. They don't have the type of products like Amazon and consumer like you and I. Let's be honest, I love to spend, buy everything I buy is online because it would truly make my life a lot easier these days. Even grocery on Prime and it's free, right? Amazon is not sponsoring me, by the way. Amazon is not paying me to say this. I'm saying this because as a consumer, as a customer, it is a brand. It's a premier brand. Note, it's not a good fit. I'm going to repeat again, so don't yell at me and don't say that Holly did not tell me so. It's not a good fit for anyone, okay? So please don't yell at me. Do not spam my YouTube channel and take your frustration on me. And please do not talk bad about Jeff Bezos. Do not talk back about anyone, any CEO or any company, okay? The way of what we say, what comes out of us is who we are as a brand, as a professional. All right? It is a brand. Thank you so much for the super chat. CL, thank you so much for the super chat. Penny, thank you so much. Oh, look at you guys. Christmas came early for me today. Yay. I'm just kidding. I'm just happy that you guys are here. Let's see here. Penny says, oh, thanks. You're welcome. If you have any more questions, please drop them on the bottom, okay? CL, thank you so much for the super chat. What is your question for me? I want to let you know I'm trying to watch your video clip as much as possible. I just joined as chat member. Thank you. Happy to share. I just got an offer for an L4 position. Hell yes! Yes. Congratulations to you. There's a lot of growth there. It's going to be a lot of hard work for you, CL, but it's a joyride, okay? You have to really appreciate the opportunity of challenges. when you got a company like Amazon on your resume, the longer you stick around Amazon, there will be a line of employer wanting to hire you, CL and everybody else. Okay. There will be because they know that you think very fast on your feet and it's all about execution. If I think about all these FAANG company, if the Amazon pop up in my head, it's execution. That's it. There's nothing else. Execution. If I think about Google, for example, I think about um, um, employee brand, right? You see the difference between the two? Employee happiness, employee brand. That's Google. Facebook is the same thing, employee happiness. They really built everything around the employee. Um, and which is awesome. It's amazing. But the problem that I have is even now being the CEO of my own company and um, focusing on my VIP coaching program and live streaming for you guys, pumping content for you. No one tells me how many hours I should work, but I'm so passionate in what I do. I really don't mind going the extra mile for you guys, my members, versus calling you my customer. So working for Amazon and working for myself, the work ethic and just the way how I conduct my business and services is the same person. You see where I'm going? Amazon did not make me this way. So that is why the type of people that Amazon would hire are the people who have no excuses, and you can hear from their tone, right? You can hear a lot of ownership on their tone in how and what they have delivered, even if they don't have relevant experience. Yes, guys, the folks who just landed an offer right now, a couple of you guys at Amazon, I don't have to ask. I know you don't come from the brand name company because my YouTube channel attracts a lot of those. Okay? So if they could do it, all of you guys can do it as well. All right. Shall we answer more questions? Okay. Let's go. Oh, I see some salary questions. I feel like Q4 or December is all about salary. By the way, guys, before I forget, I have a special guest next Tuesday. My good friend Heather Austin will be here. I'll share more on my LinkedIn. I'll make a post tomorrow or sometime this week. She's an expert with professional branding. Um, I watch how she put her content together. I was really impressed with her presentation. So there's no better person, and we're going to talk about job search and what the market looks like for the remainder of the year and going into 2022. Okay, so next Tuesday, same time, same day. Make sure you don't miss, and make sure that you follow me on LinkedIn so you can get a lot of those updates. Alrighty. So MK and everybody else, don't worry about level. Level is not relevant. It's about how well you're able to answer and deliver the interviewed questions. Okay. If you have had failed interview before, I would really ask you to create stronger stories and make sure that you really practice through. You don't need 40, 50, 60 stories to get a job. You can have 20 perfect story. But Holly, what is a perfect story? That's very simple. If you look at my playlist, there's about 8 to 10 templates. When I recycle those stories, I'm not repeating anything. It's the same scenario where I just twist everything completely different. Go watch my collaboration interview with Harin, one of my former VIP from last week. The video is brand new, by the way. It's only a 12-minute, 10-minute video recap. Okay. He talked a lot about wasting his time focusing on the Amazon leadership principle, fail Google, fail Amazon, basically have multiple fail interviewed before he came into my VIP coaching, where we just focus on the actual question. Okay. Just the actual question. By the way, stick around. I have an announcement for you guys at the end of this live stream. Of something's coming up for you in the kitchen. Ah, yes, green tea. Okay, Disney Plus. Disney Plus. YK. YK, you want to work for Disney? Amazon Prime Video. I know. I love Prime. I wish they haven't increased the price, but I kind of understand as business year over year, they have to increase, right? To sustain the employees, their platform, technology, so on and so forth. Ed! Hello, Ed. How are you? What Tonu? What Tonu? How are you? This is my first time attending the live, but I have been watching all your video and really helped for my back-to-back interview last week. It went well. I think I'm waiting. Fingers crossed for you. Let me know how your feedback goes, okay? Shope, I'm here for the first time. Well, welcome. There's a lot of first timer. I go through wave on my YouTube channel. Usually once I get a job, most of them will vacant. That makes me very sad. So when I have new people, they will stick with me for a couple of months until they go through the whole loop, end up getting an offer, and then they will vacant. I want you guys to stay with me forever because this is a community. Please do come back after you've landed your job at Amazon or other employer as well. It really motivates everyone who's listening right now. Okay. And there are a lot of people who's watching. If you're shy, feel free to, you don't have to use your real name either. You can have a make believe name. This is real time coaching, guys. If you don't give me your questions, I won't be able to give you an answer. Okay. Book says, I got selected for a senior TPM at Amazon and waiting for salary negotiation. Your videos helped me a lot to crack all 6 interview. Congratulations. Thanks a lot. I sent you a message on LinkedIn too. Wonderful. Fingers crossed for you. Any additional tip for salary negotiation? I watch a video relating salary. When you negotiate salary, especially for a company like Amazon, and how you win in any conversation is data. Okay. So the more data you can provide them, the better it is for you books. For example, let's just say that the recruiter call you, assuming you got the offer. Don't just say, hey, I want ABC salary and sign on bonuses and equity. No, simply just say, hey, by the way, I've done my market research with my skills and position. This is what the market rate is. I don't know what you're currently making right now, books, right? But my salary expectation is this, and have them meet you at what the ranges are. You see where I'm going? Okay. I mentioned 3 different websites, so I would compare all of them together. And the website is phenomenal. You can go by states and country, position title, and also all of the top companies, including Microsoft, even. So it's not just for Amazon. Okay. Let me know how that goes. Ruby says, as you mentioned in the video right now, how do you know, Holly, that you are a culture fit in the interviewed? Is it personality, 16LP? What is it? What else? Great question. Great question. That's a really good question, by the way. Actually, let me just put it right here. How do you know you are a good culture fit? Well, because when you interview the interviewer, first of all, let's take a step back because I like to dive deep, as you can see. Before you interviewed, if you do homework on the company, that's a culture fit, right? What is Amazon? Amazon as a company, they have, and you heard, if you missed the first beginning of the 10-minute that I mentioned, Amazon is the fastest, most innovative, with the most product, the most services company in the world. The culture fit is you have to move fast, think on your feet. That's number one. That's a culture. Number two, when you're interviewing with the entire interview loop and evaluate them, right? Based on personality, based on based on your level of connection with them. Or are there any chemistry? You're not looking for a best friend, but we're looking to see how they communicate. Amazonians, the longer they've been with Amazon, they talk very fast. They get right into the point as quickly as possible. They're not rude. They're just really busy, literally saving the world. Okay, I'm not saying this because Amazon's paying me. That is a fact at Amazon. Okay, that's the culture. If you pay attention to your peers, especially peer-to-peer interviewed, ask them, what is the biggest challenge that you face as a new employee? That's letting you know what you're getting yourself into. Okay. Even if you don't look at any the type of people, it's a big bonus because you've met everyone, 5 or 6 people that interview you. It's a great opportunity for you to also sit back and evaluate them. Do I, are those the people that I see myself in the same room with? Because you are going to be in the same room. Most likely, even the bar racer who isn't in your team, it will be in the same org. Okay, so that's how you know who the culture is. For me, when I interviewed before I interviewed at Amazon, I didn't know what the culture was because 11 years ago, Amazon was not this giant. It was 11 years ago, it was all about Google. Okay. Everybody wanted, I was literally working for Google at the time. I thought I would retire at Google. But during the interview, what really did it for me and how I knew that my heart was all into Amazon was because the director, two of the director level interviewed me, and they were asking me questions where I was beginning to sweat, and I loved it. I know it sounds really weird. I loved it. I'm driven when things get hard. I'm driven when things are challenging for me. That is the culture. Okay. So in an Amazon interview, a lot of people, when they talk negative on my YouTube channel, it's hard. I have negative experience. I don't understand why they're asking me this way. I don't know why, Holly, they're diving so deep, because that is the culture, guys. Okay. You think that you can find another company who's able to release products or services within weeks so quickly? That is the culture. Again, no one is going to tell you to work 40 hours a day. No one's going to tell you to do that. No one's going to tell you you have to be in the office in this hour. No one's going to tell you that. It is a very flexible environment, but you need to be an adult. If I think about the culture at Amazon, one word: adult. Mature adult with great business judgment. That's why business judgment is literally an Amazon writing exercise. Okay. You have to. I know I'm diving a little bit too deep here. I feel like you needed to hear more information, because my audience, as you can tell, none of you guys came from those companies before. I'm trying to really highlight the difference between all of them. Okay. Amazon just sticks out. And that's it. And that's that. Yi Yang. Hello, Yi Yang. Second interview normal for senior finance and analyst. You know what, Yu Yang? These days, everything is normal. The new app, Normal, is a normal now, okay? It is absolutely normal. They just want to find out more information about you. So if you think about your first phone interview, ask yourself, what could you have done to be better? Because if you felt like there's opportunity for you to give a better example, or maybe diving deep a little bit on the how part, there's a likelihood there will be follow-up questions on top of that. Alrighty. Sheep, 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 sheep. Show up. I have a loop in 2 weeks for a solution architect. What is the best way to prepare for system design? Will there be definitely system designing question, as I have done it for a few times, but not doing every day? The essay position is one of the hardest positions to get to at Amazon. Okay. Um, and Harin talk about this as well on the system design piece. They will ask you to design the system. In this case, it is the infrastructure, the network system design, right? If you are a solution architect, so you need to know, for instance, all the 7 different network layers of the infrastructure. You must know. I'm assuming that you come with some level of cloud experiences. If I were you, I would also take a look on Glassdoor, right? Because literally all of the questions are on Glassdoor as well. Furthermore, a lot of the technical questions are very similar to behavioral question as well, which is why I talk and focus on behavioral over tech, not text. Oh my goodness, Holly, come back to earth. Where's my coffee? Where's my coffee? Can a girl please get some emoji coffee in here? Thank you. Okay. For instance, tell me about the most complex problem you've ever solved. It's a behavioral questions, right? But now you need to share a story of the most complex person you've solved. Technically, you need to sound technical if you are a technical professional. Okay. Another example is, tell me about the time. To give me an example where you made a mistake or your career failure. Yes, focus on tech as well. Okay. You're an SA. They wanted to hear things of areas that you could have improved on. Does that make sense? So the first step that you would go, I highly recommend that you check out Glassdoor and look at all of those questions. And a lot of it are very basic. Okay. Even TCP IP as well. They wanted to know where you are at, because oftentimes what professionals say on their resume and when you're actually interviewing someone, it's not the same person. Okay. Does that make sense to you? Alrighty. Let's go. Hungry, how are you? Look at this. Our friend Hungry for Employment have came back into my life. How are you? How's a new gig? Happy holidays to you, Hungry for Employment. Didn't you change? Didn't you change your didn't you change your username? I thought you did, Hungry. Cool Pro. Cool Pro. Software in college. Oh, that's cute. Been thinking about switching my major from cognitive science with specialization in machine learning and computation, becoming a math CS major. Why are you thinking about switching your major? Why are you thinking about switching your major? Here's the thing, guys. I'm a strong believer that having the right computer science degree is going to help you get your first job, an intern or whatnot, right? So really think hard of what you want to do. But then again, I don't know about you guys. It took me 21 years to realize that my passion is to be a coach and a mentor. That's all I wanted to do. I kind of knew that, but I just have to really build that portfolio. But when I spent all those years in college, I had no clue what I want when I grow up. I, d- I don't know if you guys do. Give me a show of hand. Who know exactly what they want when they grow up? Okay. So it's kind of contradicting myself in sharing this with you. Cool Pro as a sophomore in college. I would do my homework into the different technical skills from somebody, from a tech background and a recruiting background. I can tell you, just looking at machine learning and just the neural space alone, you cannot go wrong. You can't go wrong. I think the job opportunity is there because nowadays everything is going through ML, right? From speech to hardware, software, embedded robots, everything has some level of AI and ML in it. So you can't go wrong with that. Thank you for stopping by and sharing. I want to. Okay. Oh, internship. Okay, got it. Brad says backbone. Yes, backbone. Yeslin says backbone. Penny says backbone. Yes, everybody, you need to have backbone. Backbone is highly critical for a company like Amazon. Now, not every employer appreciate backbone. I can tell you that. Okay. you know, Many company thinks that providing feedback is a gift, being your authentic self. Not a lot of people can handle feedback. Okay. For me, I can handle feedback. In fact, in my VIP coaching, it's all about critical, being able to take criticism, well, professionally, of course, and being able to handle feedback. Because as your coach and mentor, if you can't take my feedback to you, who's going to give you the feedback if I don't do it? Even in here, if I were to review your story, if I don't give you feedback, who's going to give you feedback? It only takes me about a minute to figure out where you have failed. It's not that hard because you can hear it, right? You can hear it. Sometimes you can't hear yourself. It's easier for someone else to hear it and point it out to you and provide you the direction to overcome that. Here's for a future Amazonian says a 100% backbone. Yes. You cannot get through the loop alive without preparation. Yes, thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig. Craig. If you haven't reached out to me, please reach out to me on LinkedIn because I wanted to invite you to my private Facebook group. That's for everybody who's resulting in a job offer out of my coaching. Okay? CLCL. Craig, I'm applying for recruiter. How is the loop? Any tips? That is right, Ruvi. You're the recruiter, the technical sourcer, right? If I remember correctly. I want to let you know I've been trying join chat. Okay. Okay, Craig. How Holly, how do you know that you are better than 50% of the existing coworker? That's an excellent question. That's very smart. You see how this girl dived deep with the type of questions she's asking me? Excellent. I love it. From the bar racer applying for entry level recruiter position. You don't know if you're better than 50%. Of course not, right? Because you've never worked for those environment before. The bar racer and the interviewer does because they have worked at Amazon for a while now. Okay. How the bar racer and know that you are better than 50% is because to be a bar racer or an interviewer like me, you have to be at Amazon for at least a year plus. And that's how you know. It takes about a year or so to know what the hiring bar is. If you look and evaluate your peers at the same level, you know if they're smarter than you by their execution. What have they done? What have they built? What have they deliver? And how they show up in meetings. Okay, it's very obvious. You don't know, and I wouldn't worry about that. I will focus your energy in creating great storytelling and being able to articulate them. Okay, I know that for some of you, a lot of you who are new to my channel in general, my best employee, one of my best employee, the best, the number one, and she is still at Amazon as a recruiting program manager. By the way, Ruby, this is very relevant to you. When she started, she was a pizza delivery girl. Yes, she goes to school full time during the day, and she deliver pizza. Um, what ship is that? Mid ship. Is it called mid ship? Basically, at night she delivered pizza, and during that time, I was involved in the what is it called? The development program. Basically, you hire people with no experiences and you train them on the job. So we're looking for aptitude, someone who can roll up their sleeve and able to learn on their own. So I was the only person who almost strongly inclined to hire her because one, backbone. Let's talk about backbone really quick here, okay? Because when I ask her, how are you a good fit for a job? Because I'm interviewing a couple folks who have some type of coordinator position at other companies or even healthcare for that matter, and you don't come from a customer service background that I need, and also scheduling background that I would need to schedule my international recruit event for me at the time. She looked at me dead on the eye and she said, "Holly, because the most innovative thing I've ever done was buying a manual and searching on YouTube. I did whatever I could to change my brake pad." And she walked me through. She did all of that very quickly. But her voice, there's something about her voice, ownership. She's trying to tell me that I don't care what kind of task you put on my plate. I'm gonna figure it out for you and save you time. That's why I was inclined to hire. But I mean, she was one of the most junior candidates with no experience that are the most hungry person I have ever interviewed in my lifetime. In my lifetime. I was so blown. I'm still talking about her, and this is about 7 years ago. And since then, when I hired her, she was a recruiting coordinator. Within 6 months, she got converted to full time, and she got promoted from an was it L3 or L4? It's been so long, I forget. But anyway, right, and she's been promoted multiple times by now. Okay. So the best person I've ever hired for the job are the ones with no experience or very little to nothing. And my second and third best hire, the same thing. All right. So you don't need to worry about what level and am I 50% better than the coworker? Irrelevant. Think about how you're able to convince the interviewer, where I'm convinced that you will know how to figure it out on your own. I need to hear ownership from your voice. YK, welcome as a new member. Penny, you got a job offer. Delay reaction, by the way, guys. Yay! Ladies and gents, we have 5 Amazon job. Ooh, right here. By the way, I just bought a new webcam because you see that? It's not going the way I want to. We have 5 job offers today. Congratulations. Make sure you reach out to me, Penny, so I can invite you to the private Facebook group, okay? YK says, I had a loop for a level 5 business development role at Amazon. I had a look at the interviewers' profiles and saw that they all went to top business schools. I didn't. How important is education background? 0. That's an easy one for me. Amazon doesn't look at education. So if they're going for top school, they probably refer each other or know each other one way or another. There are executive at Amazon that has zero college degree as well. That's why I love Amazon. Amazon doesn't look at you for a college education or a fancy school. They don't. They evaluate you based on your brain cell professional. Okay. And that's why I admire companies are able to do that. Thank you so much and congratulations for your job offer and the super chat, Penny. Bonnie. Bonnie says, I passed the assessment. I got an interview for a senior program manager, but was told the job went away. The recruiter sent me another senior position, but after 2 weeks was told it was on hold. I asked the recruiter next step and sent me another. So basically, the recruiter keep on sending you position. It kept on getting filled. Maybe, Bonnie, it's time that you change recruiter. Yeah, girl. Okay, because the recruiter should not be wasting your time and getting you in position and getting it filled multiple times. It will leave a bad taste and a bad candidate experience. So if I were you, Bonnie, I wouldn't just keep on focusing on the recruiter. I would go take a look at my networking playlist. Okay, guys, networking playlist. There's a template in there that shows you how to reach out to employers, okay, hiring managers and recruiter. I know that when I make that playlist, I have a template on how you should research and look for specific recruiters, but focus on the hiring manager using the exact same strategies, okay? Because the recruiters are gatekeeper. The one they're gatekeeping from you are the hiring managers. So rather than wasting your effort, keep on interviewing for, keep on being in the loop and not going anywhere, just reach out to managers for program management. It doesn't matter what team or what org, you know exactly what geography those hiring managers are from, right? Reach out to them. Okay. By the way, Bonnie and everyone else, I have a free interview masterclass that's coming out. Hang on for a second. I'll make an announcement in the end. Okay. How are we doing on time? Hang on, guys. Okay. We're almost on time, so I will try to answer all of your questions as quickly as possible. Thank you for your patience. Krista. Hey, Krista, how are you? You show up to my live stream. Amazon Loop being considered for two positions on the same team, level 5 and 6. I watched your salary negotiation already. What is the different compensation between the two level? There's there is a difference between the two, just like any company, right? A 6 um from a 4 to a 5, you see a little different. From a 5 to a 6, it's very hard because a level 6 at Amazon, the scope is actually very large. Okay. For example, a level 6 at Amazon, the scope, the responsibility, it's probably more relevant to a director at like a Facebook or a Google because I work for all of those companies. So the answer they're looking for is your ability to dive very deep in how you execute on delivering result. So you want a level 6 offer, every single one of your answer have to have a beat to it. Okay. And I talk a lot about this. I will have an upcoming free masterclass. I'm trying to get it out to you guys before the holiday, which is I almost said Thanksgiving. Can you tell that I haven't had my coffee before Christmas? So it's going to walk you through step by step and how to create better story at the level that you want to. Okay. So I wouldn't really focus on the salary between a 5 or 6. I would focus more on your answer being at 6. If you're interviewing for a level 5, ace level 6. If you're interviewing for a level 6, put your bar higher to be a level 7. How should you do that, Holly? That's very simple. You need to practice to death. You have to practice literally until the cow comes home because Amazon does not play around. What doesn't make sense to them, they will cut you out very, very quickly. They're looking at you, but they're not listening to you. Okay. So that is why I am a big supporter of keeping your answer to 45 seconds. If you're talking and you're recording yourself, if your answer is past 45 seconds and you still haven't even reached to your ROI, then you're probably not a level 6. Okay? I appreciate you, Purple Sparkle. How much is your diversity appreciated at Amazon? YK, excellent question. Is Amazon a good place to work for someone with an international profile and language skill? First of all, YK, I literally talked about this in my VIP coaching yesterday in our office hour. That I'm gonna take a guess that at least 70% of Amazon are diversity, meaning that they're not born and raised in the US. Okay, especially Amazon is a engineering company, it's a software company first, right? So they're not made from here. Okay, they do evaluate diversity very, very well. Um, One of the thing is, I know that many of you are afraid because you have an accent. I do. I fumble with my vocabulary sometime, and that's okay. I don't need to speak perfect English, okay? And if I partner with someone who isn't a diversity where I get poked fun of, I just laugh at them at their face, okay? And make fun with them. So you will always go through um, cross-functional team or folks like that in any workplace. It's not just Amazon. You just have to put your head up and be proud of the facts that you have an international profile. Companies right now, guys, all of the companies, all brand name or not, are focusing on increasing the diversity. Diversity has 5 different profile. Just being woman, women, disability, veteran are just some of the 5. Okay, so they're so much so into meeting the diversity goal. I don't know what that number is, but the time that I was there, it was 20%. The companies are going to get their hand smacked if they don't have a right amount of percentage in diversity. So it is to Amazon and Facebook and Google and Apple and Tesla's best benefit to bring in diverse international profile. All right. Penny says it's an L5 position for Prime Video. I'm so excited to hear that you share about Prime Video earlier again. I love Prime Video, and that's a really good team, by the way. A long, long time ago, once upon a time, I actually went to a wedding of a program manager from Prime Video, and I had the interview to set with a room of executive in a social setting, and they're phenomenal. Okay, phenomenal people in that group. Well, it's Prime Video. It's a fun org. It's meant to be fun. But if you get this gig, oh, you did get this. Of course, duh, you got this gig. You got this gig. Let me know how it goes. Okay. Um, the funny thing about Prime Video is right before I went on my mat leave, my maternity leave, 4 years ago. I forget how old my son is. I actually volunteer with my camera. I wouldn't call myself a photographer. I'm more of an amateur. So I actually help them take photos in their shows, the theater. Okay. So that's what Amazon Prime Video does, or Amazon Media. They do a lot of hosting and promoting the video within Amazon for the employees. And I will go in there and take photos for that team, for that org. Those are the fun days. CL, the offer is for a different location business arm someone left instead of what I had applied for, as it was already filled due to the things moving fast, I'm told. Is that typical at Amazon? Yes, that's typical at anyone. The thing about Amazon is at least you are still in the same team, okay? For other company that you're interviewing for, like Google, for example, when you interview at Google, the hiring committee, or even at Facebook, because the hiring committee are very similar, you're not even going to end up working for the people who's reviewing your feedback. The likelihood of you working for that team is very slim. The one thing that Amazon does very, very well, that unlike a lot of the other top brand, is that they really try to find you the right home based on what you're putting on the table. Does that make sense? Thank you, Hall. Well, you're welcome, Yi Yang. Okay, let's go. Eric, let's pick on someone new. Eric became a member. Hello, Eric. I'm keen on transitioning out of the IT management security project into AWS sales. You could absolutely do that. I see a lot of folks do it in here. Any tips on how this transformation PM to sales? Well, um, when you are in a sales or security projects, in order to transition, it has to do a lot with your ability to project management, not closing deal and generate revenue, but how do you deliver results? And when you create your story, you build your portfolio around that. Career transition, by the way, is something that I do a lot these days. In fact, 99% of my VIP member are switching from either product to PM or TPM to engineering or so on and so forth, account management with no tech background. And they ended up getting an offer at Amazon being a sales or account manager. Okay. So it's really the same thing. If you want it to be in a sales role, you can absolutely get the job. If especially when you have some level of tech background, okay, AWS will really love that. Don't look at it. Don't look at it and spend your time in being worried about the job description and all of that stuff. Rather, look at your own portfolio, look at your credential, meaning AKA your resume, right? Start taking every single thing apart. How do you turn everything into highlighting your ability to earn trust and build relationship with your stakeholder? What kind of problems have you solved? Even though you have done PM and security projects, PM people make great sales folks, right? What do salespeople do? They put proposals together, they win deals, they nurture relationship, they have a strong account management background. You hear me? Ghostwriter. Do we have Friday live section? I don't have the Friday live section anymore because there's a lot of stuff coming up in the pipeline. The Friday live section is most likely going to come back in 2022. But for right now, there's just a lot of requests to pump out more content for you guys. And I don't have the bandwidth. That's probably why. For those of you who just joined, for the month of September, I mentioned that I was beginning to feel really burnt out from being a single mom, running the VIP coaching, which I'm extremely obsessed with my customers and you guys, where when my son is sick, I am sick. And when he's home, there are so many live stream where he's throwing things in my face. One time, the kid decided to take his little, thank God it was round headed scissor, and he was poking me in the back. See, round headed scissor for your child. So there's just so many of that where I couldn't show up to be polished for you guys. I've decided to just take a pause on the Friday stream. Okay. Do I need to put data in every answer? If yes, for entry level, can I say the amount of people impacted, amount of hours saved, profit revenue? Absolutely. That's excellent. Yes, you can do that. Creating your answers around data has a lot to do with any kind of number, right? How you save efficiency, how you save your customer or your internal customers or employees, basically saving people time and profit. What did you help your company generate? Or what did you help your business generate or your customer generate it, right? So, what have you done? Amazon cares about results that really pop, and those stuff really makes them think twice about you. Very smart question, Ruby, right? Yeslin says high five. Um, Ruby says, "Tell me a time when you didn't sacrifice long term value or short term gain." Recruiter example. You know, recruiter examples, engineering example, program management example, they're all the same, by the way, guys. Okay. I think that is the one thing that I haven't done yet. Who in here is interested for me to make a video with my personal example for this question? Say yes, example, and I will make a example for you. My goal for 2022 is for to have all of the interview questions with an example that goes with it. Okay? It's coming. Especially um when you are in any kind of sales positions or recruiter in the recruiting positions. Well, I can't really say that's just being biases. It's not just in recruiting, it's any role at Amazon. There's constant changes. So you need to make a judgment call pretty rapidly. Okay. When you think about making that judgment call, what are you sacrificing right now for long term gain? Um, I don't want to throw out there and give an example right now, but I've had so many to be honest. But you need to think of a time where your manager or your peer may wanted to have doubt on you, and they're really puzzled, having wrinkle in their forehead, wondering why you're making such decisions. But when you explain to them with data, again, okay, it makes a lot of sense. And weeks later or later, you see the results coming in. In fact, they like your solution so much that they started implementing that for future projects or services. Do you see where I'm going? I think in any workplace, we make those decisions so often, we just forgot about it. It's being forgotten. Okay. So pause, take a moment, and make sure that you do that. Chris says, thanks for the great information, videos, or links you suggested to prep to set up game for level 6. Chris, I would take a look at if you go to Amazon Leadership Principle, question and example. I apologize for the video quality. That was the time, as I mentioned, that we went through a flood and we moved from hotel to Airbnb. And that was in 2020 when everything is shut down. So I have a green screen in the back, so my production quality is not at its best. But pay attention to the content. There's a lot of free template inside of those, inside of the video as well. And in the timestamp, and yes, I go back and I rewatch a 1 hour, 2 hour live stream, and I actually put timestamp to not waste your time. Okay, so you can find a lot of those answers in there, and it will help you create story. Professionals, and that is how thousands of people end up landing a job for free, just based out of that. You're welcome, Eric. Tanya, hello, Tanya. All right, Tanya, I will create an example of short-term gain for long-term growth that is coming up. Bonnie, yes, example. Ruby, yes, example. You know it's going to be recruiting related, Ruby. Ghostwriter, I cleared the online assessment for the phone screen for a senior TAM that has been scheduled for next week. I'm coming from infrastructure and application deployment background. How can I throw ROI other than 100% compliance or operational excellence for the customer? That's a really good question. Yes, you can. Let me show you how. Okay, hang on. The question is for a senior TAM position. A senior TAM is a technical account manager, which comes from some type of networking infrastructure or cloud infrastructure domain knowledge. Okay. So your ROI could be whatever problem you're trying to solve. And don't forget to mention how using the STAR method, you were able to bring your customers, you were able to provide a solution in helping your customers, help their customers in generating how much millions of dollars. Okay. Because of your effort as a TAM to get the networking infrastructure up and going by partnering and leveraging the engineering team and whomever that you do, you're able to help, 4,000, 5,000 end user, which is your customers, even teleco company, solve the problem in providing network services to their end user. Numbers. Give me numbers, okay? Ghostwriter, let me know if that makes sense. Do not ever mention 100% compliance or operation excellent. It just sounds very general. Everyone's going to give that answer. If you want to be like everybody else, do not be like everyone else. Think really deep and think really hard. If you have stories, guys, if you want me to review your story and you are a pay YouTube member, feel free to drop it in the live chat next Tuesday, and I'm more than happy to do so. Okay? Until then, I'm going to wrap it up right here. Thank you so much for supporting my work. Congratulations to the 5 people who end up with an Amazon offer. You guys deserve it. And thank you for coming back and supporting our community of job seeker with a passion to work for Amazon. I will see you next Tuesday.